Hey Reddit, I really need advice. I'm a 31-year-old guy, and a few weeks ago, I proposed to my girlfriend of 2 years, who's 34. I thought everything was going to be perfect. I planned the moment carefully, chose a beautiful location during our holiday, and even made her favorite breakfast. But what was supposed to be one of the happiest moments of our lives turned into a complete disaster. I don't know if I screwed up or if there's something deeper going on, but I'm completely lost and need your perspective. From the moment I met her, I knew she was special. She's smart, funny, caring, and has this incredible way of lighting up any room she enters. For the first time in my life, a relationship felt easy, natural, and right. We connected on every level. Values, goals, and even our quirks seemed to complement each other. Over the past few months, we'd started talking more seriously about marriage. She mentioned her dream proposal a few times, and I listened carefully, taking mental notes. One detail that stood out was her emphasis on asking her mom for her blessing. Her dad wasn't in the picture, and her mom had essentially been her entire support system. I knew how much that meant to her, and I genuinely wanted to honor her wishes. But then, life got in the way, or maybe I just didn't prioritize things the way I should have. We had planned a week-long holiday at this stunning mountain resort. I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to propose. I spent weeks planning every detail, choosing the ring, timing the proposal, and making sure it would be as romantic as possible. The ring arrived just days before our trip, which didn't leave me much time to visit her mom in person. I thought about postponing the proposal until I could make the visit, but everything else was lined up so perfectly. I decided to call her mom instead. I made the call a few days before we left. Her mom was over the moon. She told me she loved me, gave her blessing, and even shared a few tips on making the proposal extra special. I thought I'd done the right thing. Apparently, I was wrong. The morning of the proposal, I woke up early to prepare everything. I made her favorite breakfast, scrambled eggs with a side of avocado toast, and set it out on the balcony of our room. The view was breathtaking, with mountains in the distance and a golden sunrise casting its glow over everything. When she came out, still in her pajamas, her face lit up. "What's all this?" she asked, smiling as she sat down. I tried to play it cool, but my hands were shaking. "Just wanted to start the day off right," I said, pulling out the ring box. Her eyes widened as I got down on one knee. "I love you," I began, my voice trembling. "These past 2 years have been the best of my life, and I can't imagine spending another day without you by my side. Will you marry me?" She said yes. For a brief moment, everything was perfect. About 10 minutes later, as we were still sitting on the balcony, basking in the glow of our engagement, she turned to me and asked, "Did you talk to my mom?" "Of course," I said, smiling. "I called her last week, and she gave me her blessing. She's so excited for us." Her face fell. "You called her?" she asked, her voice tinged with disappointment. "Yeah," I said, still not understanding. "I didn't have time to visit in person, but she was really happy for us." Her eyes filled with tears. "I can't believe you didn't go to see her." What followed was a roller coaster of emotions. She started crying right there, saying I'd ruined the proposal by not asking her mom in person. "I told you how important this was to me," she said through sobs. "You knew I wanted you to go to her, and you didn't care enough to make the effort." I tried to explain. The ring came late, and we were leaving for the trip. I just didn't have time. I thought the gesture itself mattered more than how I did it. She shook her head. "You don't get it. It's not about the ring or the trip. It's about respect. Going to her in person would have shown you respect our family traditions. A phone call is so impersonal, it's like you didn't even try. That morning, she gave me the ring back. At first, I thought it was just a heat of the moment reaction, but over the next few days, she didn't let it go. She kept saying I'd ruined everything, that the proposal wasn't done right, and that it wasn't perfect. I started to feel like I was losing my mind. I understood her disappointment, I really did, but wasn't the proposal just a formality? Didn't it matter more that we were committing to spending the rest of our lives together? The more I tried to fix things, the worse they got. I offered to redo the proposal, to visit her mom as soon as we got back, but she refused. She said it wouldn't be the same, that the moment had passed, and that I'd shown her a lack of respect for her family. I've been replaying everything in my mind, wondering if I was really in the wrong, or if her reaction is an overstep. On one hand, I get it, family is important to her, and I didn't fully honor that. On the other hand, I can't help but feel that her reaction was extreme. Last night, I tried to sit down and have a calm conversation with her. I wanted to understand where she was coming from and find a way to move forward. But instead of finding common ground, things escalated. She said, "It's not just about the proposal. It's about what it represents. By not going to see my mom, you showed me you don't respect my family." I was stunned. I've always respected her mom, and I thought calling her was better than not involving her at all. But in her eyes, it wasn't enough. Now, I'm at a crossroads. I love this woman more than anything, but I don't know how to fix this. Is this a sign of deeper compatibility issues? Or is it something we can work through? Am I in the wrong here? Or is she expecting too much? I'd love to hear your thoughts, Reddit. Have any of you been in a similar situation? How did you handle it? I tried to explain my side, my voice soft but trembling with frustration. I love you, and I respect your mom. That's why I called her. I thought that would be enough. Does the proposal matter more than us being engaged? Her face crumpled as tears welled up in her eyes and spilled down her cheeks. "You just don't get it," she said, her voice cracking with pain. "It's not about the proposal itself. It's about you listening to me, understanding what's important to me. You didn't care enough to make it right." I stood there, stunned and speechless. My mind raced to piece together what had gone so horribly wrong. I thought calling her mom before proposing was thoughtful. Wasn't it the gesture that counted? Apparently, I'd missed the mark entirely. The conversation quickly escalated into an argument, both of us raising our voices despite the raw emotion thick in the air. She accused me of being dismissive of her feelings, and I felt attacked for something I didn't even realize was a problem. Finally, she grabbed her coat and bag. "I need space," she said sharply, her voice cutting through the tension like a knife. I watched helplessly as she walked out the door, leaving me in a whirlwind of guilt, confusion, and anger. She's been staying at a friend's place ever since. The first night without her was unbearable. I kept replaying our argument in my head, overanalyzing every word, every expression. Did I really mess up so badly? Or was she blowing things out of proportion? When I finally managed to get a hold of her yesterday, her response was lukewarm at best. "I just need more time," she said flatly. The lack of emotion in her voice chilled me. This was the same woman who once looked at me like I was her whole world. Now, she sounded like a stranger. I needed clarity, so I did what I thought was the logical next step. I called her mom. "Hey, it's me. I began nervously, my voice shaking slightly. "Can I ask you something?" Her mom's tone was warm, as it always was. "Of course, dear. What's on your mind?" I hesitated, unsure of how to frame my question without revealing too much. "I just wanted to check. Were you upset that I didn't visit you in person before proposing? I mean, I called, but maybe that wasn't enough." There was a pause, and then her mom laughed softly. "Oh, sweetheart, no. I thought your phone call was lovely. It was so thoughtful of you to include me at all. You did nothing wrong." Relief washed over me momentarily, but it was quickly replaced by even deeper confusion. If her mom wasn't upset, then why was my girlfriend so distraught? Was this really about the proposal? Or was there something else going on? When she came back last night, I felt a flicker of hope. Maybe we could finally work things out. Maybe this nightmare was about to end. Instead, she dropped a bombshell. "The proposal wasn't the only issue," she admitted, her eyes avoiding mine. "I've been feeling unsure about our relationship for months. I just didn't know how to tell you." I blinked, stunned into silence. Her words felt like a physical blow, knocking the air out of my lungs. "What do you mean?" I finally managed to ask, my voice barely above a whisper. "I thought we were happy." She let out a heavy sigh, one that seemed to carry the weight of years of pent-up frustration. "You don't listen to me," she said bluntly. "You don't take my needs seriously. The fact that you didn't drive to my mom's just confirmed that for me. It's like you don't care enough to go the extra mile, literally." I tried to defend myself, my voice rising in desperation. "I do care. I love you, and I thought the proposal was about us, not anyone else. I didn't realize how much this meant to you, but I thought we could work through it." She shook her head slowly, her expression one of resignation. "It's not just the proposal. It's everything. I've been feeling like we're not on the same page for a long time." Her words echoed in my mind, each one cutting deeper than the last. I thought we were building a life together, but now it felt like I'd been living in a fantasy while she was stuck in reality. When I asked if she still loved me, she didn't even give me a straight answer. That hesitation, that silence, it was deafening. That's when I knew it was over. She packed her things in silence, each item she tucked into her suitcase, feeling like another piece of our life being stripped away. I didn't know what to say, so I just stood there, watching helplessly as she walked out of my life. 2 years, gone in the span of a single evening. Now I'm sitting here in the empty apartment we once called home, trying to make sense of everything. The silence is oppressive, the absence of her laughter and presence almost unbearable. I keep asking myself the same questions over and over. Was I really that blind? Did I miss the signs? Or did she blow this out of proportion because she was looking for a way out? I've replayed every conversation, every moment we shared, trying to find the cracks that led to this collapse. The truth is, I thought we had a good relationship. I thought we were happy, but clearly, I missed something. As I sit here, scrolling through Reddit for advice, I realize that I'm not alone. There are countless stories of love lost, of relationships falling apart for reasons big and small. It's comforting in a way, knowing that other people have been where I am now and managed to move forward. But it doesn't make the pain any less real. I think about the future we'd planned, the trips we wanted to take, the home we wanted to buy, the family we talked about starting. All of it feels like a distant dream now, one that's slipping further and further out of reach. Maybe she was right. Maybe I didn't listen to her enough. Maybe I didn't take her needs seriously. Or maybe she was looking for an excuse to leave, and the proposal was just the final push she needed. Either way, the result is the same. She's gone, and I'm left to pick up the pieces of a life that no longer exists. For now, all I can do is try to move forward. It won't be easy, and it won't be quick, but I know I'll get through this eventually. To everyone who's taken the time to read this, thank you. Your advice and support mean more than you know. This didn't turn out the way I hoped, but at least I know I'm not alone. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough to start the healing process.